is history correspondent with reality?
If you not all. For example, you believe Abraham existed. Abraham didn't exist historically, right? So therefore,
wait.
Yes, he did exist historically.
If Abraham existed, that means that he existed historically, right?
Well, he didn't exist historically.
If you've been, this sounds like something someone says after they've been. Listen, man, he existed, but he didn't exist historically.
Pass it. You know what I'm saying? Pass it, man. See, that's that good stuff. When you think about it, what happens historically isn't what happens in reality.
That's deep, man. That's deep.
What's up, man? What's your religion?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, welcome to the panel. We believe Christianity is true, man. Change our minds.
That's great, man. Can you explain to me the Trinity without falling into any logical contradiction?
Well, you got to tell us what the logical contradiction is first.
No, I just want you to explain it first, if that's possible. Without, just the doctrine of the Trinity.
So the doctrine of the Trinity is that there's one God that exists as three distinct persons, one being, one divine essence that exists as three underlying realities, three persons.
Okay, and is each person fully God?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so if you count by the law of identity, how many gods is that?
What kind of identity? Relative identity or absolute identity?
Leibniz's law, that's it.
What kind of identity? Relative identity or absolute identity? You need to actually define what you mean by identity, because there's different ways that can be defined or used. And there are different philosophers are going to define absolute identity in different ways, depending on which philosophy you're going to go with.
Yeah, why are you going with Leibniz's law?
Because that's just how we count identity in general. That's how that's how I know it. I mean, can you explain the distinction? Like, do you count by relative identity in the Trinity then?
Leibniz's law, just slow down, dude. Leibniz's law says that for something to be identical, it has to be identical in every single way, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so for example, there's an example that was shown to me that kind of showed a flaw in this. So let's take the Titanic, for example, right? The Titanic before it shipped off. No scratches, no bruises, not broken down, right? But then obviously the Titanic crashed, shipwrecked. Would you say that the Titanic, that's the same identical Titanic ship that left the shore that day?
Yeah.
Right, but it's not identical in every way. It's now broken. It's now scratched up.
No, sure.
It's different from how it left.
Yeah, right. But wouldn't you say that Jesus is like 100% equivalent to God?
We would say he's fully God. My point is that when you're appealing to Leibniz's law of identity, it doesn't fully hold up. It's not totally coherent.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, I see where you're coming from. But can you explain the distinction between relative identity and absolute identity in the Trinity? Why does it not pose a contradiction? I still don't follow.
You're asking for what is relative identity?
Yeah, why does positing relative identity not pose a contradiction in the Trinity?
Well, when you're saying absolute identity, you're saying that the persons have to be identical in every single way and not distinguishing categories. With relative identity, they're relatively identical in certain ways, when other ways they're not identical. So with relative identity, they are identical in essence, not in their personhood.
So how is that distinct from me and you being two humans and having the same essence of humanity? What's the distinction between that and the Trinity?
We're two separate beings with our own will.
Two different instantiations.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jesus and the Father are the same instantiation? They're not two separate instantiations of God?
They're the same. They're the same exact being. They're the same identical being. You and I, we're two different human beings, right?
So we're three people on this panel. We all have the nature of being human.
You didn't answer that, man.
Can I finish real quick?
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah, we're both humans. Yeah, correct. We're both
that's not actually. Oh yeah, okay. So we are two different human beings, even though we share and like human essence, right?
Yeah. So are Jesus and the Father different?
With God, it's different. With God, the Father and the Son
can you just answer?
Notice how you're asking and we're dealing
Yeah,
with.
no, man. I'm asking. Okay, can I ask the question? Because I don't think you heard it, man.
Okay, yeah, go, you know, my bad. Go ahead and ask the question. Go
Perfect. Thank you.
Go ahead, man.
It's like they think that they're dimmies or something. They can just run the conversation they want.
That philosophy stuff is not going to work here, guys. Nice try. But notice that when you get off script, you get a brother off script, man, they begin to manifest, get a little panicky, a little jittery. Like, come on, man. Duck, you're on stage.
Hey, what up? Good to see you. This is my first time talking to you, GodLogic, so good to see you. And Mike, I talked to you once about the Trinity, so good to see you again as well.
Yep, I remember you, man.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm an atheist, so the prompt is Christianity is right. And so what do I do? What do I do?
Convince us Christianity is false.
Okay, there's no theory of Christianity. Very simple. Sorry.
What?
No theory.
There's not. Yep, there's no theory of Christianity. There's Zoroastrians, Coptic Christianity, obviously Eastern Orthodox, I would say evangelicals. And so these are preferences. There's no theory. And so therefore, Christianity is at least less true than other things. And it's most likely just not true.
Can you actually explain what you mean now? What do you mean there's no theory of Christianity? You just mentioned Eastern Orthodoxy, evangelical, different denominations right there. Different theories right there.
Right. Those aren't theories though, because if I'm talking about the standard model of physics, just as a sort of loose example or something, I'm always talking about particles, right? There's a theory called the standard model. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, right?
All right, here's the theory of Christianity. Okay, there is a triune God who created the universe. The second person of the Trinity became man and died for the sins of humanity through his atoned for them through his death and resurrection, and now calls us all to be brought to heaven to exist with him for eternity through the resurrection. So there's your theory.
It's inconsistent though, because like I could say, well, Mark references Isaiah. That's cool. So there's this one prophecy here, but it's a very different Jesus in Mark than in other gospels. And so that doesn't account for a theory. I would say a big thing, if you have this guy who goes around, rebel without a cause, healing people, Pharisees be darned. This guy is very different than someone who is maybe more focused on social and political preaching, challenging people a little bit. You can't say that's the same person. Even
I'm going to ask again. Give me an example of how Mark's Jesus is different than, say, John's Jesus.
They're signified differently. They're talking about a person who does different things.
Doug, can you give us a example, please? Like, hey, in Mark chapter 2, verses 6 to 10, Jesus does this and has this attitude. In John chapter 19, verse 8, Jesus has this opposite type of attitude. And that's just, that doesn't really go together. Can you give us like an example?
No, but usually I can't, because usually I'm being honest, it's usually the Eastern Orthodox who are saying, demonstrate your claim. I can't do that.
So you can't.
What are you on stage for?
Why are you here?
We're still waiting.
I thought I won. I think I just won, though.
What?
You guys can't prove it.
Anything, man. You've said so many words.
By wasting my time. Hey, John, appreciate you, man.
No. You guys can't prove it's the same guy in the Gospels.
No, okay, thank you. Hey, Doug, man.
What on earth, man? Listen, this guy's in here and he's like, yeah, there's no theory of Christianity. Of all the things that I thought were going to come out of his mouth, there's no theory.
No.
Go. Hey, Duck. Go to any philosophy expert and be like, there's no theory of Christianity. They're going to be like, yeah, there is.
Yeah, I just want to discuss the topic, why Islam is superior to Christianity.
That's sure. Salam al-Masih though.
Wa alaikum salam.
Awesome. Right, so I guess you can go ahead and get into it, man. Why do you think? Can you get your
Mine now. This is mine.
get your finger out of the camera?
This is mine. This is my jacket now. You saw it.
Oh, you getting cold now?
It's hot in this room. You turned it on.
Make sure he don't run off with it.
Oh, I thought that was a gift. I was gonna take that home.
That's
Oh, you
crazy.
want one?
Yeah.
I got one for you.
Okay, I'll take it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No,
I don't know if you're joking or
no.
not.
I thought that was mine.
I thought it was his. I got you.
Yeah, go ahead. So, what makes Islam superior to Christianity?
So, because the Quran is historically miraculous and it gets nothing historically wrong, and the Bible isn't historically miraculous and it gets things historically wrong, so the Quran is superior, so Islam is superior.
You said it's historically miraculous.
Yep.
What deems it to be historically miraculous?
It contains things about the unknowable past.
The unknowable past.
Yes.
Like what?
There are many examples. We can go to Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 6. So,
Okay, like what? What does it say?
yeah, so verse 76 says, so in the night covered him, he saw a planet, he said, this is my Lord, but when he said, I like those not that disappear, and then the next verse talks about him seeing the moon rising, and it says, this is my Lord.
I'm sorry, you're talking about Abraham?
Yep.
Okay.
So then when it said, he said, unless my Lord guides me, I will surely be among the people constrained him. He saw the sunrise, he said, this is my Lord, this is greater. But when it's said, he said, oh my people, indeed I am free from what you associate with Allah. So right, you have this astral triad, right? And the first thing, the celestial body, it's identified as appearing for a brief amount of time, and then it's set before the moon appeared, and then it says the night covered it, which implies evening or the setting of the sun. So and this is cosmologists identify these attributes with Venus, right? And then you have the moon, and then you have the sun, right? And historians say that Abraham lived in the Middle Kingdom period. They found out that in the Middle Kingdom period they worshipped the astral triad of the sun, the moon, and Venus.
Wait a minute. You think in ancient Babylon, so Abraham, according to historians, actually lived around the year 1800 BC. So around the same time as Hammurabi. Okay, and you say they worship a triad.
Yes, an astral triad of, I think it was called, Ishtar, Nana, and Shamash.
Okay, what about Enki, or Enlil, or On?
So I'm talking specifically about the Middle Kingdom period here.
Yeah, they worshipped a entire pantheon of different gods. Okay, who was the head deity? Who was the head deity during the days of Hammurabi in the pantheon of the Babylonian gods? Do you know?
Oh,
Nope.
No.
So my entire point is that it gets the ancient Babylonian worship correct. Is that this is something that
not based on. If you're saying they just worship three, that's false. They worship.
Yeah, I'm saying, but this was one of the things that they worshipped was this specific astral triad of the sun, the moon, and Venus.
No. I'm going to ask you again. So who was the head deity for the Babylonian religion in around 1800 BC?
They were idolaters. They probably worshipped all types
Who
of things.
was the head deity?
Yeah, I already told you. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's Enlil.
Okay.
Enlil was the wind/storm god. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
What you have just done, if you've picked out three deities from the Babylonian religion or mythology, and you said they worship these three, that's a triad. They worshipped so many gods and goddesses. You just can't cherry pick and say that's a triad there.
Let me elaborate. So they worshipped many things. What I'm saying, there was this. They worshipped this separately from the other things. It was known as an astral triad, right? And if you looked into the excavation of the city of Ur, right, you'd know this.
The city of Ur. So who was the god? One of the temples at the city of Ur. There were two big temples there.
I don't remember.
One was Ishtar. The other one was On. Why is On not part of this triad? The On is the sky god.
Can you show me any scholar that says it was part of the triad? Because the triad is very specific.
No,
they have
I have read
artifacts
these
with this
scholars.
specific triad.
I've read scholars like Jean Bottero Karen, Ray, Namit, Najat. Never once have I heard, oh yeah, they just worship the triad.
No,
You picked out 3 deities you
they
like.
were
and you're like,
idolaters.
"Oh, that's triad."
They worshipped many things. I'm saying this was a separate thing that they worshipped, and it was
Okay,
this specific
you know what? Here's another triad they worship. They worshipped An, Enlil, and Enki as a triad.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine. That's fine. That doesn't.
Yeah, I just made that up.
Contradict my claim.
I just made that up. They worship those 3 deities alongside several others. You just picked 3 deities you like and said this is a triad they worship.
This is the triad that they worshipped. Yeah. Okay. So
I don't think you understand how the Babylonian or the Sumerian or the Mesopotamian religion really work, because really it's just a collection. It's not just Babylonian. It starts with the Sumerians and then evolves through that culture into the Babylonians and then Neo-Babylonians, as well as through the Kazite that period as well. So, where can you cite me a scholar who says that they worshipped this triad as sort of something distinct or unique?
Distinct or unique? When you say distinct or unique, I'm not saying it's the only thing that they worshipped. I'm saying this was a specific triad that they held, and they worship other things, but they'd have different types of worship, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. So, where are you getting this triad thing from, according to the scholarship?
Wait, 1 second. I have scans. 1 second.
You've scans, okay. Because, again, the main triad that I told earlier would be like what I just said: An, Enlil, Enki. An was the sky god. Enlil and Enki were his 2 sons. And that happens for a while until Enki's son Marduk takes over during the Neo-Babylonian period. This is an evolved, crazy religion. I'm not even.
So the artifact was the cylinder seal impression, and it had these 3 specific deities, right? Ishtar, Nana, and Shamash, which is Shamash. Yes. The sun, the moon, and Venus.
Yeah, they often combine deities in various ways. That does not mean that was a major component because you have some artifact that mentions 3 deities together. This happened a lot. You can find this in Egypt. You can find this Canaan, where they'll mention just a set number of deities. That doesn't mean anything.
Yep, I'm just pulling up something.
You think we could get to something a little bit more substantiative,
Sure.
Right.
What do you want to talk about?
Something that actually makes Islam superior to Christianity.
Yes, I believe that the Quran is more historically miraculous than the.
All right, maybe give us something else then that's
Okay, so Pharaoh in the Bible.
Look, I just put in, was there a Babylonian triad, and you know what come up? Anu, Enlil, and Enki.
Goodness. Killing that computer.
By the way, there was another triad here. Here's another triad.
Yeah, so Jeremy Black says
here's another triad. Sometimes it's Shamash, Ishtar, and Adad, who is a storm deity. Sometimes it's different triads. This is my point. They combine different deities in different ways. Sometimes there was 2, sometimes there was 3, sometimes there was 8.
Yeah,
they did this kind of stuff. You could go through the Bible.
Is that so one of those 3 that they combined based on the artifact I gave you, and I saw is to scholar. His name is Jeremy Black, also, right? So my entire point is this, right? I'm not saying that this is the only thing they worship. That this is this is like a historical groundbreaking thing that they worshipped. This isn't tried only.
This isn't groundbreaking.
I'm saying it's not. I'm saying it's. My entire point is that the Quran is more in line with history because, for example, in the Bible it just says that they worship idols.
Omar, you called this a historic miracle.
Yeah,
this is something that is the unknowable past.
Yeah, because why? Okay, this was a specific.
Everybody knew this.
No, yes. They only figured this out in the excavation.
The unknowable past, huh?
When they figure stuff out after
that means that
doesn't mean that they're the first people who found it out.
You said this was Surah 76. Is that what you went to?
Yep.
Because I just want to read it for myself to see what you're getting at here. Because again, like you're setting this up as if this was like their main component of their religion. Saying they worship three deities, and you find every ancient culture that was pagan worshiped sun, moon, the stars. Venus was a deity, and as far as I can tell, just about every ancient religion from around that period and that area, that region.
But we have no source prior to the Quran that there was available in the 7th century that specifically highlighted these three or any triad. Right? The Bible says that the people of Abraham, they just worshipped idols, and the testament of Abraham just says that they worshipped suns and moons and elements. Right?
Wait a minute. It just says they worship suns and moons
and elements. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And stars.
I thought that was unknowable.
Yeah, you just kind of proved our point.
That's completely unspecific. It's wrong. Also, I don't think they worship elements. The entire point, the Quran highlights a specific triad, the characteristics that are given to the first celestial body are attributed specifically to Venus, right? You have Venus, the moon, and the sun. This is one of the triads that they worship.
Can we talk about something of substance? Let's talk about. Because clearly everybody knew that they worshipped idols and worshipped stars and suns and moons and yada yada yada.
I mean, it's throughout the Bible telling them not to bow to the sun or the moon, to not worship the stars.
Yeah, but did they know that?
Do you know what the Quran got miraculously historically wrong?
Nope, it didn't get anything historically wrong.
The crucifixion.
Yeah, what about the crucifixion?
The Quran says it was made to appear so we'd expect the historical evidence to point towards that. It's not a historical.
That means it.
You're muted.
So you're holding this between both of us, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, aesthetically, that is like not it, you know? Can you hear me in this mic? Does it sound any different?
Yep, sounds fine.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so the Quran got the crucifixion wrong. It says it didn't happen, right?
So history presupposes naturalism, right? If we presuppose naturalism,
history doesn't presuppose anything.
History doesn't presuppose naturalism. That's what secular historians presuppose.
I don't care about secular historians. You also have theological historians. History itself, though, doesn't presume anything. It's just, this is what history is. These are what the facts are. This is what happened, right?
Yeah, so the
presupposition comes from people and their beliefs and their views.
Yeah, so the Quran's claim is supernatural, but if we, naturally speaking, if we just assume naturalism within the Quran, then people saw it, people recorded it, people transmitted it. So
did it happen according to the Quran, Omar?
Historically, yes.
No, I didn't ask historically. I said according to the Quran, did the crucifixion happen?
In reality or historically? In reality, no. But
is history based in reality?
History, I already told you, because history doesn't take into account the supernatural, right? So if
history doesn't take in supernatural or the natural, it just records. It's just what happened in life. So is history correspondent with reality?
If you not all. For example, you believe Abraham existed. Abraham didn't exist historically, right? So therefore.
Wait.
Yes, he did exist historically.
If Abraham existed, that means that he existed historically, right?
Well, he didn't exist historically.
So then he didn't exist?
No, he did exist because I have the Quran, which is something that's supernatural.
Did he exist or not?
I believe he existed, but that's...
So then he existed historically then?
No, because when I say historically,
why did I not bring my freaking red book?
Yeah, so
red book, man.
Well, hey, 100. Remember this, okay? I'm gonna have to just go back and write this down. When I say he didn't
exist historically, I'm saying when we look at historical data, he didn't exist. However, I believe he existed
I can give you some kind of historical data he existed.
Okay,
But
let's take Moses. Let's take Moses.
He's taking history and saying that history doesn't coincide with reality.
Yeah.
Like history and reality
I
are
didn't say
two
that.
different
I
things.
didn't say that. I'm saying history doesn't take into account the supernatural. So I'm saying the Quran makes a
Thank you,
natural claim.
Omar. Thank you.
Here's what Surah 6 says. When the night grew dark upon him, he saw a star and said, "This is my Lord." When it said, he said, "Do not love things that set." Then when he saw the moon rising, he said, "This one is my Lord." Then 678 says, when he saw the sun shining, he said, "This must be my Lord." That's not saying there's a triad. That's just saying, look, there's a star. I think that's a God. There's the sun. I think that's a God. There's the moon. I think that's a God. That's in just about every ancient religion of that region from, oh my gosh, this is so, then they assume that's a triad. Man, talk about conjecture on conjecture.
Abraham existed. He just didn't exist.
I thought I heard that right. I was like, there's no way.
It's like these people learn a little philosophy and then they just build this web of conjecture, false equivocation around what they think is happening in these subjects, and they have no clue what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I believe Abraham existed.
But did he exist historically?
He just didn't exist historically.
I see. That makes sense.
Nice.
That's like that sounds like something someone says after they've been, listen, man, he existed, but he didn't exist historically.
Pass it. You know what I'm saying? Pass it, man. Because that's that good stuff. When you think about it, what happens historically isn't what happens in reality.
That's deep, man.
That's deep. Peep this. It's that Tawheed right here.
Tawheed.
What's up, Tawheed? If you woke up today, that don't really mean you awake.
Dude, that's deep. That's deep, man.
Wow.
You still gotta check to see if you awake. You still gotta check.
You blowing my mind.
Man, it's that Tawheed right there, man. Make sure y'all get y'all some at the nearest dispensary. That's that California Tawheed, that Oceanside Tawheed. Oceanside Tawheed, boy. Oh my gosh. God. Come on, man. For real, bro? Is that what we doing? Y'all gotta stay off that Tawheed. Please. That is Lumpec. Abraham existed. He just didn't exist historically.
That's true. That's powerful stuff, man.
What, bro?
That one's got to go in your book, man.
Yes, that's in the book.
It's on in the book.
What? That's in the book. As soon as I get home, that's the first thing I'm writing down, man. Historically, he just didn't exist. What? Historically, you don't see how.
You don't see how.
You don't see how.
You don't see how.
It's because that's why.
Why would you? Abraham existed, but not historically. But he existed historically. No.
You know.
Why would you think that he existed historically?
Why would you think? See, he existed, just not historically. You don't see how.
I'm gonna say that.
You don't see how.
You don't see how.
It's because that's why. Jabril, you're on stage, man.
Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, I encourage you, don't just react emotionally. Think, examine, test the claims. Truth is not determined by volume, tradition, or majority. It's determined by what is true. If you disagree, that's fine. Bring evidence, bring sources, bring logic. But slogans, insults, and repetition are not arguments. The goal here isn't to win debates or humiliate anyone. The goal is clarity, consistency, and truth. If you found value in this, like the video, share it, and follow the page, because these conversations matter. And remember, faith that fears questions is not faith worth defending. See you in the next video.